Hi, thanks for tuning in to WFRE's Hometown Hero, and this is brought to you by Overhead Doors of Frederick. I am trying to get this right, Taylor. She is with Animal Control, Frederick County Animal Control, and her last name is Tostenson.
You got it.
Oh my gosh. It's like 3 separate syllables.
I know.
Taylor Tostenson. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm losing my voice a little bit, but that's just, the season, unfortunately. But yes, I'm very happy to be here and to be talking with you today.
You work with Frederick County Animal Control, so you get to see the best and the worst. But going into your position, I don't think I could ever do it, because if I came across anybody who was mistreating an animal, I would not be able to contain myself. So what made you go into this line of work?
So it was the same reason I was actually in the military, is I've always wanted to help people. And what I love about this is I help animals and people. And something that you don't really realize with animal control is just how much you're interacting with people. And that's my biggest goal, is trying to just do better for the community.
And so you said you were in the military?
Yes.
Okay, what branch?
I was in the Air National Guard for
Very
Minnesota.
nice.
I was in it for 3 years, and then I was medically discharged. So, and then I've worked in the animal career field for about 6 years now, and animal control 3 years. So.
Okay, I can tell that Minnesota accent. Listen to it. Taylor, say Minnesota again.
Minnesota.
Okay, do you love cheese?
I do, although that's
Me
more Wisconsin.
too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. We should edit that one out.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
We still love cheese.
Oh, cheese is good from any state, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, and with pets, do you ever carry cheese around with you if there's a dog or cat misbehaving? Because my dogs love cheese.
Oh my goodness. Well, especially at the shelter, we always have a can of spray cheese just in case we need to use it. In the field, less likely to carry cheese and whatnot, but we always carry dog treats and other smelly stuff, because sometimes we do need to lure them in when they're running away.
Yeah, absolutely. So you did grow up in a military family, so you moved around a lot?
Yes. So I was actually born in Oklahoma, and I've kind of lived all over. Both my mom and dad were in the military. That's actually how they met, both Air Force. And so I've lived in Utah, Minnesota. Japan was my favorite place to live as a kid.
Oh, wow.
And then whenever I actually grew up and joined the military, I was actually stationed in Hawaii, so I even still have a Hawaii phone number.
I love that. I love that for you, Taylor. So you're out here, you're working in Frederick County Animal Control. What kind of things do you do on a normal day?
So what I love about this job is you really never know what you're going to get into each day, but typically we get at-large calls, animals running loose away from their owners. We do handle welfare, so any concerns, even if it's an unfounded welfare, we'll still go out just to make sure everything's okay. We handle injured wildlife or sick wildlife, making sure we're keeping those out of the community if there's any concerns. And then we're also just making sure that we're touching base with the community and making sure everybody's okay.
So you get a call about a loose horse, and have you had to go on calls like that before? Maybe a loose cow. How do you kind of wrangle them back into their enclosure? I personally would be scared.
It is definitely, especially whenever it's an animal that you have no idea, whether it's a cow, horse, dog, cat. They all can be dangerous in their own ways. It's reading their body language. I went out for a loose cow one time, and thankfully the sheriff's office was also there to help me. I had a real cowboy of a sheriff who was out there. He was ready.
He
was ready. Exactly. And we were able to thankfully corral it back into its pen and find its owner and make sure everything was okay. So
a lot of people, they tend to leave their animals, sometimes their dogs, outside when it's too cold, when it's too hot, and we're starting to get ready to come into warm weather. What happens if somebody does that? You know what I mean? They're not properly caring for their pets without the proper shelter.
Yeah, so Frederick County does have laws in place, especially for dogs that are housed outside. That's the big one. I mean, people love to let their cats loose, but a lot of people don't call us about that concern. But especially dogs, making sure they have proper shelter, access to water, and especially in extreme weather events where it's below 32, above 90, they can only be outside for 30 minutes at a time without those proper things. So we get get calls, we go out and we will enforce it. We'll tell people to
Good.
put their dogs inside, making sure they have proper shelter if they are an animal that is housed primarily outside. And we just keep following up on that until they are within compliance. So,
Okay, good.
yeah.
And I know that you don't just go out to check on people to say, shake your fingers. It's probably an educational way for you to reach out as well, right?
Exactly. And that's a big thing that I always tell people, especially if it's my first time ever interacting with someone, is I treat it as an educational opportunity. I'm not there. I mean, sometimes I'm there to, shake my finger at them, but a lot of times people don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. So I'm always happy to go out and try to teach people before I, try to chastise them.
All right, gonna get personal about something. I hate snakes and spiders, so you get a call, and I don't know if you have, but let's pretend that you haven't. You go to a home, and there's like loose snakes or like huge spiders. Could you handle that, or do you like call in somebody that likes to do that? I mean, do you have somebody that you work with who's like, oh yeah, I'm okay with snakes and spiders?
So typically with like spiders, unless it's like a pet spider, we're not really going out for it. If it's a pet spider, hopefully they're not running loose in the house. We might tell the person like, hey, can you put him somewhere.
I would get freaked out.
For snakes, actually, one of my first calls I ran as a solo officer was getting a 5-foot black snake out of a similar ceiling panel like this, where I had to reach up and pull it out. So I'm fine with snakes. Thank
you,
goodness.
Taylor. Now I'm scared. So you like pulled it out of a, really?
Yeah, it was basically in the light like this. You would see it coiled up, and I was able to pull it out. Thankfully, I had gloves and everything on, so it was very safe. Yes. So you have to grab them a specific way.
And it never bit you?
It did not bite me, thank goodness. Like I said, it was one of my first calls as a solo officer.
Brave.
So.
And you're okay with doing that?
I am. I actually love snakes. So I'm one of those people that if a snake call comes in, I'm like, I'll handle it. I love them.
Oh, that's so wonderful. You'll never have that at my house.
That's fair.
Okay. And the craziest call before we end that you have ever had, like crazy, funny, what was that?
I would say that snake one was one of my craziest ones. One of the ones that I always, not necessarily crazy or funny, is just the ones that I really like are the ones where I'm actually feel like I'm helping people. So I've had it where I've gone to like elderly people's houses and, they're obviously in disarray, but they obviously love their animals so much. So being able to give them the resources so that they can stay together, that's the big reason that I love this job, is making sure that those who obviously love their animals can stay with them. So.
Oh, I love that. You are just so wonderful to have as our hometown hero, Taylor.
Thank you.
I think it's so sweet. And I admire you because things like snakes don't scare you, where I cannot deal with that, not at all.
It's fair. I'm not a big fan of cockroaches, so don't call me if there's those.
We don't have these here at the station. I'm telling you what, we're calling somebody else to get rid of
There you go.
Well, thank you for joining us and being our hometown hero. And you've been listening and watching to Hometown Heroes, brought to you by Overhead Doors of Frederick.